Ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday night. It is time for the late night double creature feature featuring your hosts Ryan Speaks Geek and Supersorrell. Applaud now, you fools. The end is near. Hey guys, me, your host Supersorrell. Thank you very much for tuning in. And I'm here tonight with Ryan Speaks Geek. This is your new bi-weekly creature feature horror show.
Dun,
Dun, dun, dun. This is gonna be awesome, man.
And this time it's personal.
Dude, this is it. We're live.
Beginning.
The beginning. Something magical and full of wonder.
Whoa.
But we are here with a bunch of people that usually follow us on the Geek Week. They've all tuned in to see us on this special occasion. So let's see who's in the chat. We have Joey B. Joey, welcome, dude. Andy H is with us as well. Andy H. Question is, do they start on time? Yes, we did.
Yeah.
If there's any technical issues, it's usually the other guy. Oh,
Actually,
dear.
well, saying that, I mean, we're off to a start because so we talked about doing the show, and I was already like, by the way, I've got holiday dates. So,
Yeah, you were. That was so
yeah,
funny.
straight
Before the show
away.
even
So
come
there's this episode. I'm in the next. I'm here for the next one, which is in 2 weeks, and then after that, Jacob's Toys, bless him, he's going to be covering me, and then they'll be back. Dave of the Dead, how's it going, dude?
Yeah, Jacob will be joining us. Woo, applause, woo. By the way, that's never going to get on. It's going to be used all the time. So,
100%.
I love the fact that we've got a bit of background tunage as well going on. I love that. It feels like I'm on the Haunted Mansion. I don't know why. It feels like that kind of a cheesy, right? Like the song. I love it.
Yeah. Just sit there, start going like from side to side, like I'm on the right.
Oh
my God.
Stuggy, good evening, dude. Hope you well.
Oops.
JT Alamanda, welcome, dude. What's up?
What up?
And Dave of the Dead as well. Good evening, Dave. Hope you are well. Wow, this is it. So yeah, we're going to talk about some horror stuff tonight. We've got some toy news and some other cool stuff as well to talk through, but we are going to have a good natter about Insidious, the Red Door, the new trailer that dropped for that film. And as well, we're going to have a little natter about the Halloween 2007 movie by Rob Zombie. Was it that bad? And of course, we're going to rank our favorite final girls as well. If you don't know what a final girl is, what have you been doing with your life? Final girls are the girls that usually survive to the end of a horror movie. Usually the girls that continue into the franchise as well. So a bit like, your Neve Campbells from Scream and, Laurie and Nancy and characters like that from horror.
Yeah, there is actually a film called Final Girl.
There is.
Which is actually a really good film. We should definitely that should be on one episode. We should talk about that. But we are going to try and do a film or an episode, and then eventually rank them all so you can see where we put them in order. Although we only came up with that just before we went live, so whatever we say the ranking is might not be the official wording of the ranking because we haven't decided that yet.
But guys, we've got some cool stuff to talk about. So first off this week, we've got a new announcement that just came out, I think today, to be honest. This was NECA announcing that they've got a new exclusive for the convention scene 2022. I guess it's going to be San Diego. And we're going to see a glow-in-the-dark creature of the Black Lagoon.
So you know me. If it glows in the dark, I'm there.
This looks awesome as well.
Oh, it sounds stupid, but like 90s, glow in the dark just makes me think 90s. I know there was a lot of stuff in the 80s, but I don't know why I was thinking as a 90s child. But like 90s glow, and look at it on the card as well.
Yep.
That almost reminds me a bit of when Orion did like RoboCop stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of that.
So I've got the Mummy one over here, and these I've already unboxed the. What other one did I get? I got the Frankenstein one that I unboxed because I didn't want to waste, because these are cheaper. The original Universal Monsters figures usually come at about 40 odd quid. Oof. So these ones are $24.99.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a bit more like reasonable price.
Yeah, and the glow in the dark. But I got the Frankenstein one because when I got the new accessory set, you wanted to put the bandaged head on Frankenstein, but I didn't want to use my regular Frankenstein just to bandage him up. So now I've got like one on the table bandaged up, and then I've got the other one on the shelf. But I didn't want to buy like another 40 quid figure, so I used the cheap glow in the dark one. And that, again, that's the reason I've got the mummy one to go inside the sarcophagus.
See, no, I'm not a big person who collects this kind of scale. However, when it comes to horror, I kind of feel like I may have to start dabbling because my horror toy collection is very limited. Like, and I kind of want to have like a couple of horror shelves.
Well, I've been thinking about starting the Super 7 reaction line, you know, the 3 3/4 inch, 5 POAs.
That's the one I'm really sort of, because like that blends in two worlds for me.
And because I'm an unboxer as well, like I saw at Comic-Con, somebody had like loads that were just unboxed for like a few quid each because they were like unboxed and nobody wanted them. Everyone wants them on card backs. So for someone like me, they were perfect. Yeah, we had the Creature from the Black Lagoon announced today, which looks very cool.
Like that, big fan.
Did you see what Lego announced?
Yes, it's that film that I only just recently saw that after getting so much crap.
Well, I've got a little video for you. Are we ready?
I'm ready. I'm bracing myself.
So this is the new set that's coming out from Lego. It came from Lego Ideas originally. And this is going to be with us July 4th. So not long.
That is actually pretty cool. The thing is, you know, I quite like the film, but like I don't have the nostalgia of it that everyone else does. And you know, I can't stand Bette Midler. But I might end up getting this one just because it's just a really cool, all the features on it as well.
So many. Guess how much the price is.
Oh, that's the bit I don't like guessing with Lego, because Lego always makes me cry a little bit when I start looking at the prices.
Yeah, that's what made me cry a little bit inside when I saw this. I want it so bad, but £200 for this.
£200?
Yeah.
Oh.
And you know what they've missed?
Hurts.
You know what they've missed?
No.
So if you look at the minifigures on the set, we've got the 3 witches, the Sanderson sisters, and we've got Danny, the little sister. We've got Max, the big brother, and we've even got his girlfriend, which I forgot her name. It's run past me right quick. But yeah, it's got all the minifigures except the zombie.
What?
The zombie's not in this set. All the minifigures, but we don't get Billy.
Do you know what it's going to be, though? That's going to be like a convention exclusive or something where if you spend £3 billion on a Lego website, we might give you a minifigure. And then someone from a Chinese factory will start selling copies of it for like £3, and that's when I'll get one.
And yeah, he says £400 for that Lego set. Oh no, 200 in bed. It is, but for the size of it and for the features on it, it is pretty cool. Me and Mrs. Supersorrell are definitely grabbing one. Let's put it that way. We'll be doing the full build and review on that bad boy.
I just don't know if I could justify even £200 for it.
And Stuggy as well says glow in the dark figures are always buys. Yes, they are. Nostalgia there with the
that's a guarantee for me.
Yeah.
Since I've got Globocop and Globy-Wan Kenobi, let's set it all off. I do like it. I like the box design as well, to be fair. Like, it's that more adult theme that they've started going for, isn't it? You know, it works. I like it with the purple accents and the glow and everything. I just don't know if I can justify £200. That is the problem.
Yeah,
130 to 50 maybe, but I just can't spend £200 on something that, because I'd want it more, and I wouldn't probably put those figures in. I'd probably put like remember the awesome Halloween wave we got of the minifigure collection?
Yeah.
I'd probably fill it with those. But then if I'm going to spend that much on that, I might as well buy the haunted ride, you know, the haunted house ride one.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah, and because it is a lot bigger, and I feel like I can get a lot more horror figures in it.
100%.
Plus, nothing glows in the dark on here.
What about if it's 195 and it's not 200 notes? Yeah,
in that case, if it's under £200, I'm sold. Do you know what my dad used to get me on this all the time because I'd be like, I'd see something in the Argos catalogue and I'm like, Dad be like, it's like 50 quid or whatever, or 40 quid. And I'd be like, no, it's not. It's only 39.99. And Dad was just like, son, no, it's 40 quid.
Oh, wait, yeah. I was like that as a kid, yeah. But it's not bang on £10. It's only £9.95. It's okay.
Let's change.
Yeah, there's change.
Dave, toy price is double whatever you're comfortable equals double whatever you're comfortable paying. Yeah, that's true.
That is true.
And the thing is, what I spend on Transformers and Star Wars stuff, like I say, like, oh, you know, that's way too expensive, and I'll still go out and get it because I still want it.
It's absolutely same.
I think it's an English thing, though. We need to moan about it first before doing it.
That's always a thing. We always have to have a little moan first.
A moan, and we have to queue for it as well.
Queue in
the
English
way.
We will.
Yeah.
Speaking of queuing in orderly fashion, I went to York this past weekend, and I went to that ghost store.
Oh yeah. You adopted a ghost?
I adopted a ghost. I queued up for like an hour and a half, and they cut the line off just behind me and Lynn, my wife, and everyone that kept like then had the queue going round the corner, like off of the shambles, so it's like out of the way, and everyone that kept kind of tried to join the back of our queue, my wife was like, no, that way. The queue is that way. She was like line monitor. But yeah, I adopted her.
They came out and gave her a high vis.
They might as well have done. But yeah, I adopted a little ghostie. Woo!
Thing is, they are really cool. What are they, like resin, wood? What?
Pot, I think. It feels like pot.
Oh, as in for our drug aware users, they're not saying cannabis. It is in fact pottery.
Well,
Does it have a name?
No, they don't have names or anything. You name them basically. But apparently, every ghost in York is attracted to the store because they all want to be adopted and go home with somebody. Because, you know, it must be sad being a ghost in the afterlife. That's why it's crying. So, yeah, you basically go in to the store and there's just thousands of them all over. And you basically pick one and take it to the cash register and pay £17 for the privilege of taking a ghost home.
Nice. It does need a name, though. I mean, it's crying and it looks like it's just lost something. So I'm going to go Rocky Gulboa.
Rocky Gulboa. That is nuts. Do you know what I got tonight, dude, that I have to show you from Diamond Select? I know you're going to love it.
Go on then. Hit me with it.
I showed you guys the photos earlier, but I have to show you this. This weighs a ton, by the way. Cthulhu.
Oh, man.
Look at the giant Cthulhu.
Oh, I want that. Especially after I watched Deep Water the other day again.
Yeah.
And I really like that film. It's the one with Kristen Stewart. But it was that weird time when Fox bought Disney, so the last 3 or 4 Fox films to be released just sort of came out for like 3 days, and no one talked about it. It's like X-Men, you know, the horror-y type one. What's it called? Young Mutants. It was that, Deep Water, and a couple of others. They just sort of were like, oh yeah, we've bought Fox now, but we sort of said we released these. So, they're in the cinema. When? Oh, yesterday. But I watched Deep Water again because it's on one of the streamers, and it's a good film. But that, obviously, spoiler alert, it ends with Cthulhu there, and it now kind of makes me want a Cthulhu.
Yeah, and one thing as well this week, have you seen that they've announced Terrifier 3 will be coming to cinemas? And there's going to be a full release of Terrifier 3. Yeah, it's not going to be it's not going to be an indie film this time around. It's going to be a full production, big Hollywood movie. For the
Underwater, outing. That's it, not Deep Water. Sorry, I've just seen Andy's comment saying Deep Water. I'm like, I know that's not right. Underwater. Why is he with me in names? Like, considering I have such an encyclopedic knowledge of totally useless rubbish, I can't seem to remember a film I watched 3 days ago, 3 or 4 days ago. Nightmare. But yeah, so that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah. So the quote is Terrifier 3, the Cineverse continues. I don't know what he's planning there, but he's calling it a Cineverse. The director reveals how he's planning to top the gory sequel with even more gore. I cannot let fans down. And this will be coming to cinemas this time around for the 3rd outing of Art the Clown.
Do you get when you order a host from Wish? This is what you get. They thought they were getting like Chris Hemsworth, and then they ordered me from Wish, and this is what they got. was a balding bisexual who likes horror films and nerd stuff. Yeah. Oh god. But that's interesting that they're doing it in cinema. I guess it's because if you think about it, it's one of those films that's had such a big following that it's almost become bigger than what it probably intended to be. It was very much, I guess, intended to be like a direct-to-DVD, just one of the ones that people have in their kind of catalogs of horror. And it's so liked and it's so talked about. That's the other thing. It's one that even if you probably don't watch loads of horror, you still know about, or if you see the DVD cover, like the film poster, you're like, oh, that one. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that's encouraging for horror.
It is very encouraging, but not as encouraging as something that I found earlier today, which I think is going to amuse you no end. Let me get this up. And all of our usual followers are going to find this hilarious. Did you see that? So this is genuinely a thing. It's been announced on Dead Central today, following the success of the movie Blood and Honey. It was clearly only a matter of time before more horror movies jumped on the Winnie the Pooh adaptation. Meet Winnie the Pooh, the Beast.
Studios. I need to contact these studios and being like, you need a voice, and I'm here for you.
Winnie the Pooh, the Beast. Who came up with this?
I'll take your honey and your soul. Dum dum dum. Don't feed me after midnight. I dare you.
Oh yeah, I really need to. Can someone put me in touch with one of these studios, please?
Yeah, Blood and Honey was just the beginning. No, it's harvest time, bitches.
The 100 Massacre Woods is now open for business.
I'll be getting that.
Deep Blue Sea. That is a underrated film. I like Deep Blue Sea. You ate my bird. Samuel Jackson.
I've never seen it.
What? Oh, dude, you gotta see Deep Blue Sea. That's a shark movie. That's great fun. It knows what it's about. It knows what it's about. And there's LL Cool J has this really cool bit where he's like, "You ate my bird," and then he blows up a shark. That's, I mean, technically that's a spoiler. I'm sorry, but it's there's so much else going on in it. I think you'll have a great time.
You'll have a great time.
You'll laugh, you'll cry, it'll change your life. No, Pooh Man Scarface edition.
Oh dear. Yeah, some of these are great.
I'm going to offer you honey you can't refuse. You want to play rough? Okay, I'm reloading.
The perfect omelette. That's what he teaches you to make the perfect omelette. This is a mistake. Oh, it's just, I'm quoting a movie to you. You haven't even seen.
Not even, I've got no idea what you're
absolutely wasted. And now you've seen that, you're like, oh, so it's a cookery show and a horror film. What a great that is a creature feature. Speaking of creature features, that is a proper creature feature.
But one thing I wanted to discuss with you today.
It is
Halloween.
It is time.
Halloween, the Rob Zombie movie. Was it that bad?
I think it depends on who you ask. So I think it's one of those films that if you are a diehard classic Halloween fan, I think that's people that would enjoy it a lot less. But I think if objectively that was the first one you saw or you just came across it, I don't think it's objectively a bad movie. Okay. I think Rob Zombie is one of those directors who does really well at what he does, but it's whether what he does lands all the time.
Yeah, I get that. And the fact that he put Sherry Moon in every movie he does.
Oh my god, yes. I mean, you would have thought enough money you could get some acting lessons, but you know, like complimentary studio thing, surely, you know, director gets complimentary acting lessons for the person he's guaranteed to cast.
One thing about this movie though that I think could have made people like it more if they stayed away from remaking the original film and just stay away from the whole Laurie bit. I would have loved to have seen more about the kid and him growing up, because I was enjoying that beginning bit about the life of early Michael. I was loving that, and like seeing how he became Michael Myers. If the film stuck with that, I think it would have been a lot more successful.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I think this film's portrayal and like adaptation of Loomis as well, I think is underrated. I think what's his name from Clockwork Orange?
I'm coming to the rescue.
Come on, man in the chair.
Malcolm McDowell.
Yes, I think his interpretation of Loomis, making him a slight, a more flawed character in regards to there's like an element of exploiting for publishing and stuff like that. I think that's a really nice touch on something that, excuse me, because obviously the character of Loomis is like is effectively the other main character. You've got Laurie, you've got obviously Michael Myers, but I think Loomis is just as integral to a lot of Halloween films, and it's one of the things that even when he's not in one, he's still talked about. Or they use like the voice clips or something like that, or in the latest one they used sort of a voice double because he's not with us anymore. Yeah. And I think this went in a different direction. Rather than just giving us an actor doing a carbon copy version of that character, we had one that was more humanly flawed. Like, he's seen an interesting case, and like probably what a lot of people do, and exploits it. Goes like does the book and everything like that. And I think that is something that's really well done. And I think that's a bit that is a bit underrated in the film.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was really enjoying his interpretation of it and stuff like that. It was a shame when it jumped forward to the older Michael. Even then, if they kept it within the confines of the asylum, maybe it would have even been better, rather than let him loose, keep it as an origin. But I thought the one thing that the first time I kind of shrugged and went, oh my god, was the bit with Danny Trejo. Because obviously Danny Trejo has raised him since he was a kid, and then Michael just randomly kills him. And I know that was to show that he's an absolute psychopath. But I would have liked to have seen like Michael hesitate first or something.
There should have been more
hesitation behind it.
I totally agree. Yes, and savagely. I think I totally agree, because I think it showed a side to Michael that we hadn't seen before. And then it was wasted. It was almost like it meant nothing. Like there was almost no point to him having almost raised him, because there wasn't that emotional bit, like you said, that moment of hesitation. Because the whole point is trying to work out whether it's a human monster or just a monster, like Michael Myers. Yeah. Like, is he a monster or is he a human monster, effectively? Yeah. Like, is he someone with so many issues, or is he just something that's pure evil? And I think you could have carried that on a bit more if you'd put that, like you said, just that one little bit of hesitation. And I think that would have just given it. But I do think I actually know, what I'm going to say? I think it's a good movie still. I still enjoy it. I think it's a little bit longer than it needs to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still rate it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Cause I'm at the minute I'm trying to collect all of Rob Zombie's movies, basically. And
that's why you bought the Monsters.
That's why I got the Monsters. I'm trying to get all of his films, basically. Yeah, for £1 from Asda. Can you believe that? But yeah, I'm trying to get all these films. So I've thought, well, I may as well sit and watch a few that I've never seen. And obviously, Halloween 1 and 2 was like first on the list for me, and it wasn't that bad. I enjoyed it.
Wait, did you spend more on my film than on the Monsters?
Yes. Well, I did.
Take that, Rob Zombie.
Yeah, Andy H was
my movie the guy didn't have your wife in it. No, joking.
Yeah, Andy H bought the movie and then sent us all the screenshots. So
absolutely,
we had a good time with that.
Yeah, it's a terrible film.
Let's have a look at what you guys are saying in the comments about it. So Andy's my take of Rob Zombie's Halloween to me was more of a Michael Myers origin movie rather than trying to be a Halloween movie. Yeah, totally. Lords of Salem is Stug's favorite Rob Zombie movie.
I haven't seen that one, actually.
Have you got a favorite Rob Zombie movie? I'll come back to you. Andy, exactly like Michael Myers.
Halloween, though,
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like some of the kills in Halloween too, though.
Andy, yes, it was the one with the radio show host, where basically Sherry Moon Zombie is like the main character in that one.
Andy H. I did this with Ryan's movie the other day. I am meeting with my solicitor/lawyer tomorrow to sue. You did that of your own volition, all right? I warned you. I told you all not to go. You did that to you. You have done that yourself.
Well, yeah, I agree with Andy's comment here that when people do go into cinema sometimes with massive expectations on a remake or a sequel, and sometimes it's nice to see them have their own take on it.
Like Child's Play, the remake of Child's Play. I think that was really good because they didn't just do a straight for straight, which is funny because there is a Chucky connection, obviously, in Halloween. Because the voice of Chucky, is it Brad Dourif?
Dorf.
He's obviously in Halloween. But yeah, Child's Play was another example of where I think it got mixed reviews, but I think because people were going in because they thought they were going to see a carbon copy of the original, but we've got the original. We don't need a carbon copy. It's a bit like Total Recall. You know, whatever your opinion of that movie is, they didn't do a straight shot-for-shot remake of the Arnie film. They did something completely different. And I think that is the way, if you're going to try and bring a franchise back, I agree. Rob Zombie did the right thing and okay, I'll do Halloween. I'm going to do Halloween my way. And I'm going to just start from the beginning. I'm not going to try and tie it to all the other ones. Paul Rudd's not going to pop up. Oh, Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I think my favourite Rob Zombie film has to be House of Thousand Corpses. That's definitely my favourite. That's one of Sherry Moon Zombie's.
So long.
Yeah, that's one of Sherry Moon Zombie's like less annoying roles, to be honest. I actually like her in that one.
Yeah, I see. Now I feel like I need to rewatch. I think we may have to revisit the Rob Zombie question in like 4 episodes when I've rewatched them all. Because I'm trying to think.
House of Thousand Corpses is good just for Sid Haig. The late Sid Haig in that is just amazing.
It is pretty nuts, and the thing is, it's got such a loyal following as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think on the subject of Rob Zombie, one of my favourite things for Rob Zombie in the moment is obviously his song Dragula, which is just an awesome track anyway. But when people have mixed that with the scene from the Matilda movie,
yes,
have you seen that? It
yes,
fits so well that I've watched it way too many times. I'm probably lining whoever the uploader is pockets with views, but I can't get enough of it. It shouldn't work as well as it does, but it does.
So they did it with another film as well. I know they did it with Matilda, but they did it with another one. The Grease. It was the Grease dance-off scene. You know the one?
No, did they?
Yeah. So where they're all like the hand jive, born to hand jive, baby. It was that. It was the bit where they're all doing that on the thing, where they're all sat on the benches, and they just go, "My Dragula." It looks like they're all moshing away to it. It's so funny.
Whoa, I didn't know that Rob Zombie did an episode of CSI Miami.
Yes, he did. He's been in loads of things, Rob Zombie.
I know, but just like, I just got this image of like Caruso being like, looks like Rob is now a zombie. Yeah! Or something, I don't know.
Oh, dear. Joey B, his favourite horror icon is Hannibal Lecter, followed by Freddy.
Oh, very good choice. Here's one for you, Joby one, though. Is it just Anthony Hopkins' portrayal of Hannibal Lecter or the character itself?
Yeah.
Because obviously we've had 4 portrayals. Because you've obviously got the original one, which with Brian Cox.
Yeah.
Then you've got obviously Anthony Hopkins. Then you've got the young chap from Hannibal Rising, and then you've got the TV shows. That's 4.
4 actors. Yeah. Wow.
Hey, Marco.
I still find it funny that Rob Zombie did an episode of CSI Miami, and Fave Halloween, worst 31. 31, yeah, is a really bad movie.
I've not seen 30. I've not even heard of 31.
Only as I've not seen Monsters. Monsters is better than 31. Monsters is better than 31. Monsters was okay. Monsters was okay for the soundtrack. I see what they were trying to do with Monsters, but it just didn't work. But the soundtrack for Monsters is my favourite.
That, actually, speaking of soundtrack, and while we're on Halloween, that is one other tiny misstep, is I think they didn't use the soundtrack quite in the film. Because the iconic Michael Myers theme came in too early, in my opinion.
Yes, it did.
That is because the soundtrack's always pretty awesome for a Rob Zombie film, but that was my only sort of critique on the soundtracks. I just think he used it's almost like wanted to tell everyone that yeah, it's a Halloween movie by using it too soon, and I think it would have been more effective would have been good actually at the Danny Trejo bit maybe if he had it hesitated, and then when he kills Danny Trejo, that's when it's that would have been a cool time to use it for the first time.
Like he's officially gone down the dark hole now. He's never coming back, kind of thing. Like, yeah, killing Trejo should have been the moment where he turns into the full-on psycho. He's not like he's gone to the point, past the point of no return, kind of thing. Yeah.
So there we go. The character for sure, but it's hard to beat Anthony Hopkins. That is very true. Mads Mikkelsen was crazy good. I still haven't seen the show. I'm quite far behind.
I've never seen the show.
I've heard great things, but I've just not seen it.
Yeah, definitely. Right. I think next up. Sorry, go on.
Well, we got to rank it yet.
Oh yeah. We do. We do to rank Halloween.
So shall we just say? Sure. Should we just do 1 to 4 at the moment? 1 being the best and 4 being skip it, and then we'll come up with creative names when we've got more time to think. Because if I'm on the spot, I'll probably get cancelled. So I would put it in the. We're going to do it 4 or 5 out of 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. Okay. I'm going to put it in 3.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go for 3. Because I do really enjoy it when I watch it. However, it's not the one that I go to out of the franchise. Or it's not probably even in the top 3 that I go to in the franchise.
Okie dokie. So basically, for everyone to comment on, I'm going to be doing a ranking tier. I'm going to create a blank tier list next week, and me and Ryan basically every week will talk about the films we're talking about. We'll rank them and put them on this list, so you guys can keep up with what movies we think are the best and what movies we think are not worth owning, kind of thing. So that's the first one. So Halloween, yes, we're going to put that in the third option. Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with you on that.
You give a third?
Yeah, I'll give it a third. Yeah.
Hey. Oppa! Are we counting Halloween H2O? Hey,
is that the one with Busta Rhymes? Is that the one with Busta Rhymes?
Yeah, it is. Kills him by electrocuting his balls.
Just the fact that Busta Rhymes stands there, and you can tell it's before the era of cancellation because he stands there going wah.
Yeah.
You just know every level.
Yeah, that is that's an interesting creature, isn't it? No, though that's Halloween Resurrection.
Is that Resurrection?
H2O is the good one. That's the Scream-esque Halloween.
That's the one where they brought Laurie back, isn't it?
Laurie's son. Yeah. And then she gets killed off like in the first 10 minutes in Resurrection, which is the one with Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, that's the one.
Because H2O, a rate, but Resurrection. Yeah, Resurrection.
Why do I feel like Halloween Resurrection's got like some weird people in it? Oh no, it doesn't. I'm actually looking it up. No. I was thinking Tara Reid for some reason, but no, it's Tyra Banks in that one. Oh dear. And the reason I'm thinking of Tara thing is because of Thomas Ian Nichols is in it. Obviously, he was in American Pie with her.
Ah, okay,
that's where my mind's going. Yeah, Busta Rhymes, Bianca, and Tyra Banks, Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh my god, I've not seen that film in a very long time.
Well, you're gonna have to watch it again for the show at some point.
Watch it again for the show, yeah.
That is your crime. It is also your punishment.
Right. So we did get a trailer drop this week for Insidious: The Red Door.
Yes.
And I want to talk about that because let me just turn this music off for a second. That stopped at perfect timing there. I like that. But yeah, we've got the actual trailer to show you guys, so just bear with it a moment. Boop. Well, I work behind the scenes and do some magic.
Man in the chair, doing technical things.
Woo! So here we are.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dalton!
Oh yeah, Insidious: The Red Door. Are you a fan of the Insidious franchise?
I am, although I've only seen the first 3.
Ooh, yeah, I've seen the first 3. Is there a fourth film? Hang on, is there a fourth? Is there what have I missed?
There's like 5. No, this is 5. Is it?
I'm googling now because you've confused me. I've seen basically the last one I saw was when they went into that other worldy bit to get his son back.
That's the first one, isn't it?
That's the second one, isn't it? We're so bad at this. I love it. Oh, we're so bad. Insidious
There's
franchise.
Patrick. Good old Patrick.
I need to get the list of films up.
This is a modern day film.
So we've got Insidious Chapter 2, Insidious Chapter 3. I've not seen The Last Key. That's what I'm missing. That's why it don't make sense to me.
Yeah, that's the one I've not seen. So yeah, so it's 4. So this is number 5.
This is number 5, yeah. But this is obviously where his son's it's in the future and it's going back to those old films where his son was.
Oh, I love that bit with the shadow in the corner.
Yeah. That red-faced demon-y thing scared the life out of me the first time you see him and he's behind him. That genuinely made me
I've got that Darth Maul figure from Zakynthos on holiday, the knockoff one that looks exactly like that.
It does.
Maybe I should customize it and turn it into... Oh, that's nasty. That looks good. Disturbed drawings is always a thing for like horror films, isn't it? Like you got to have a disturbed... If someone's disturbed, they do weird drawings.
Yeah. If it's a kid involved, they always have to draw something very weird to freak you out.
The family's darkest secrets.
What if he goes in the red door and it turns into the back rooms?
It turns out the red door was not red. It was blue.
There's just the key maker behind it from Matrix. I'd be waiting for you.
You thought the last key was black.
That's a good one there.
Tiptoe through the tulips, that is where I'll be.
Oh, that song freaks me out. I hate that song.
Yeah, my other half absolutely detests it. I love playing it at Halloween. I'll just wait until it's all really quiet in the flat, and then just from the other room, I'll just be like, just off there. Tiptoe through the tulips, that is what I'll be.
Is it something like he died or recording that song or something? There's some weird thing behind that song, isn't there?
I think he did die after his final performance. He got told he shouldn't perform anymore, and then he Ryan, never do that again. Andy, I will do. Well, then don't sue me. There we go, Andy. Let's make a deal. Okay, yeah. So I'm pretty sure. Yes, Tiny Tim. He also did a really weird song called "Santa Claus Has Got the AIDS This Year."
That's
he
weird.
was a really messed up kind of guy, but he got told he shouldn't perform anymore, and then he died because he just didn't listen. He kept performing.
Wow. Yeah, I like that. Ryan, never do that again.
The deal has been struck. Although now I'm gutted because I can't ever do it. If we do an Insidious episode, Andy, I think I'll just give you a 5-second warning before I do it.
So this
signal.
Secret signal. So this film is set 10 years after the ending of the events of the second film. So are they pretending that those don't exist now? Josh Lambert heads east to drop his son Dalton off at the idyllic Ivy League University. However, Dalton's college dream becomes a nightmare when his repressed demons of his past suddenly return to haunt them both. To end the haunting and to put the demons to rest once and for all, Josh and Dalton must return once again to the further in order to stop the nightmare for good.
So this is going to be the last one, but let's be honest, it's probably not going to be the last one.
James Wan's back to direct it though, so it should be decent. I like James Wan
well,
brothers.
that's promising.
Yeah.
I'll definitely go and see it, but I think I'll need to brush up and watch the
I'll
others.
have to sit and rewatch them again. Yeah, definitely.
Because I rewatched 1 and 2 this year because they're the 2 I've got on DVD. Because I'm one of those people that still likes physical media. So I think I'll have to pick up the others now and watch them, which is going to be annoying because I'll get that and then I'll watch the Red Door and then they'll release like a really nice slim full box set which will fit much better on my DVD shelf than rather than 5 old films. But
yeah, Blumhouse have also said that they would like to cross over Insidious with the Sinister series at some point. That would be cool.
Yeah, I can see that. What were they going to call it? In Sinister, maybe.
In Sinister.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Do you know what? Looking at the list of films, I like Blumhouse movie lists.
Yeah, sorry, just read Andy's comments. Hey, Shelley. Normally I listen to you guys with a headphone in, but you'll play through the surround. Oh wow, that must have been horrific. I did that to my mate once. So my mate, John, who we had on the show, he just sends me voice notes going, "Oh," and I'm like, so I thought I'd send him a voice note back one day, and I just went, "Oh," like that back. However, he forgot that I was his phone was connected to all the speakers. So apparently, he just went around his house going like, "Oh," he freaked him the hell out.
That's so mean.
I didn't know.
Shelley, good evening. Hope you're okay. Thanks for joining us. No worries at all, Shelley. YouTube does that. It's a pain with the notification thing.
But never
we'll be
fear,
live.
you can go back and watch us from the start after
can.
the recording has ended.
But yeah, me and Ryan will be live every other week. So it's not like a weekly thing, but it will be every other week. We'll be coming at you for about an hour and a half or so to talk horror. So thanks for joining us. We do appreciate it, Shelley.
Just wondering if I can get my head to line up with the zombie thing at the bottom of the screen. Like,
Yeah,
like that.
That could be really mean. Then just move your way completely.
Oh, it's not so just like an absolute night.
Oh, mate. So we've Insidious is coming out. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Comes out on July 7th, so not long now. A couple of weeks away.
Oh wow, I don't have long to catch up on those films then. I really better go move.
Ooh.
Thank God it's payday tomorrow. eBay, here we come for those missing films.
Oh yes. But I was just looking at Blumhouse's like list of movies that they actually own, and it's insane the amount of films they own.
Oh
So
really?
You've got Insidious, The Lords of Salem, The Purge, Paranormal Activity. They own Ouija. They own Unfriended, The Gift, The Visit. They own Split, Get Out, Happy Death Day, Truth or Dare, The First Purge, Halloween, the new versions, Death Day to You, Black Christmas, Fantasy Island, The Invisible Man. They own so much. The new version of The Craft, the new Freaky Friday movie, the Forever Purge. Oh Jesus, The Black Phone, Mr. Harrigan's Phone.
Are they trying to become like the horror studio? Maybe
it feels like it. All these franchises are insane. And in 2023, they're in charge of releasing Megan, which has already come out in Insidious, and then they've got a film called The Exorcist Believer. I didn't even know that was coming out. I'm gonna look at that.
Okay.
And the Five Nights at Freddy's movie they're in charge of,
which does look very fun.
It does look very fun. Do you know what? If they don't do a crossover with the Nicolas Cage film, they're missing a trick.
Or if they do what Nicolas Cage did and just reference that film loads.
Yeah, somewhere in it. Just have one of the Freddy animatronics rip apart a Nicolas Cage poster or something just for kicks. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
But I've just seen this, The Exorcist Believer. I didn't even know this was a thing.
So is it like a prequel or?
So let's have a look.
Because it's quite a big franchise. I think a lot of people don't realize there's quite a few films in the actual franchise itself.
The father of a possessed child, desperate for help, goes in search of someone who has had similar references. It doesn't say who's playing what or anything just yet. It's very blank on here, but it's definitely coming out. And it says on it that they never wanted to attempt to remake The Exorcist, so this is another installment in the Exorcist franchise, not a reboot.
I think that's smart. Again, because like we were saying earlier, that's just one of the... we've got the film. I mean, look at the Poltergeist remake.
Yeah.
It was very okay-ish, but it was just... It didn't need to be a remake. It could have been just another one.
Oh, wow. So this film will serve as a direct sequel to The Exorcist 1973.
Oh, okay.
And while the film will retroactively affect the continuity of the film series, all of the previous installments will remain canon. So this is
okay, interesting.
This is coming in the sort of like just after the first film. So maybe they're gonna like have someone playing Reagan or something in it. Maybe the guy who's got a possessed kid goes in search of, and then he finds Reagan. Maybe that'd be cool.
Oh, there we go. Andy H in the comments. The Exorcist Believer is the sequel to The Exorcist, as it has Ellen Burstyn. How about that? How about that? I do.
Oh, Ellen Burstyn. Right? Yeah. Sorry, I'm being stupid.
I really love Shelley's comment. My daughter watched the first Insidious movie a couple of months ago. I just leave her for a few nights when she wanted to watch the second one. I was like, no chance. 12. You're not a bad mother. I was watching films like that at 12. Granted, the 80s and 90s horror films were not quite as realistic as some of the other ones now. Do you know the one that got me when I was a kid, right? Was Signs. Signs. I don't know. All the horror films I'd seen, I just enjoyed. The one that made me genuinely sort of like question sleep movie. I think it's like sort of, because I'm still not convinced about the aliens thing. I know it sounds very conspiracy theory, because just based on statistics, I kind of feel like there might be something out there. Whether they, I'm not saying they look like Chewbacca or whatever, but they will look. They could be anything. They could look like a tiger with 6 limbs or something. I don't know, but. But it freaked me out, I think, because that scene with the video camera at the party on the news?
Yeah.
The bit with that, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. The bit with the camera and the alien comes out and looks to the right, or left, sorry. Like, it really stuck with me. And I saw it in broad daylight in my, when they used to, at school, you were allowed to watch a film in like 6 parts over lessons. It was like, we did it in that. So like, it wasn't like I watched it at home at night alone or something. But it really, really like stuck with me, and I think it's because you can't see them most of the time, and they can blend in. And when things just sort of move out the corner of your eyes, I think it's stuck in my brain, and that's the one that actually got me like really freaked out. It was an M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh mate, do you know what got me as a kid? It was Alien Abduction, the McPherson tape. Did you ever see this bad boy?
Yes, because again, it was. I thought that was real.
It was in that era where the internet didn't exist. You didn't have anyone to tell you that these films weren't real.
Blair Witch Project. That's like we were speaking about on the Geek Week the other night. Similar kind of thing. No internet to prove it wasn't real. All you had was your mate on the playground telling you, "Yeah, it's real."
And Joe, just to share this, just because it's just for fun, just because we can. Because it's that old now, no one cares. Let me just play you this, because this was the bit that was the thing that terrified me as a child. It was the ending scene where the family basically I've got the video camera.
Michael, put that goddamn camera down. I will. I'm gonna wrap it around your neck.
It's like the aliens are like in the house somewhere, and he puts the camera down.
So that made me think of Jurassic Park 3. Eric!
With the T-Rex pee.
Don't ask. God, I haven't seen this since. It's all on YouTube. That's awesome.
This is on YouTube, yeah. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube with Spanish subtitles. But it was the bit where the aliens come in. I'm not sure if that's like now-ish.
Yeah, it's...
It must be coming up. You sort of hear the family in the background, like, scream and whatever. And then, where is it? Here we go. This was the thing that freaked me out the most, child. And it looks so bad now. Look how bad that is. This scared me.
But I guess maybe it's so bad that it was believable, I don't know.
This bit. Where he just looks at the camera and it cuts off.
That actually did. That has given me some goosebumps, even though the costume is sort of terrible. But I guess maybe that's why it's so good. I don't know why it was so believable, but it was.
As a kid, that was terrifying. Yeah, that scared the life out of me. It's so, looking back now, you're looking at that and going, that is literally 3 children in Halloween costumes.
yeah. We visited Poundland and we're like, yeah, we can do this.
So
Joby one, I was fine with Heavy Movie, nothing's gonna be. Candyman, yeah, Candyman was brutal. We used to do that whole thing standing in the mirror. I could never do it. I could never do it.
It just reminds me of South Park. Biggest mouth, biggest mouth, biggest mouth.
Yeah, what the hell?
I love when you don't have to watch a horror movie at 12 makes you an awesome mother. Yes, it does. When I was like 12, my dad had showed me like Freddy at that point and films like that. Admittedly, he never showed me the first movie because that was like, obviously Freddy 1 was like the one that tried to be the scary one. it was like I remember him showing me like Freddy 3, 4, and 5, like the Dream Warriors, the Dream Master, and the Puppet one or whatever. It was them ones that were like the cheesy ones. Yeah. Dream Master was like my favorite one growing up because it was like the one that I watched the most on VHS.
Yeah, I can see that. I think you do always have that affinity for like the ones you watch the most, if that makes sense.
Well, because as a kid, like we were saying on Geek Week a few weeks ago, you'd go to Blockbuster and you'd pick up that one video and it'd be like $175 for 7 nights or something mental, and you'd watch it like 5 times in a week just to get your money's worth.
Especially like I don't know if you have these. If we were ever having a horror movie, like a sleepover or something, if I was renting it, I would try and watch it first so that I could then look brave when it was like around the other person's house, being like, "Yeah, nothing scares me. Oh, I bet that's gonna happen. Oh god, yeah, look at that. Huh? But like the first time I was watching, I was like, no.
After seeing those aliens, we know what the Oompa Loompas got up to after Charlie.
Oh, fantastic. Oh.
What was your favorite horror movie you ever watched? Oof, favorite horror movie. Oh, first. Sorry, was the first. Sorry, first. I misread that. This first. The first horror film. It might have been that Alien. One. Oh, Alien. Ooh.
I'm pretty sure it was the first Alien.
I'm guessing Goosebumps doesn't count.
Well, the acting was probably the scariest part. I've still got such a strong love for Goosebumps.
No, Goosebumps acting was top tier compared to Are You Afraid of the Dark acting. That was a completely different level. I will never get over that one with where they got the clown, and there's a bit where the ringleader of this circus looks into the camera and they're pretending he's getting in the guy's face, and he goes, "Aren't you around here, boy?" it's the weirdest sentence anyone's ever written, and he made it sound so.
There's a few in those. What I love is though, because it was shot in Canada but pretending it was in America.
Yes.
So it's like, Craig, get out here now. Get out the house.
But first horror movie, I think that might have been it for me. I think it might have been the Alien Abduction McPherson tape. So that might have been my first ever one. What year was that? What year was that? McPherson tapes.
I think the reason mine was Alien because where I loved Star Wars and all sci-fi things, I think someone gave it to me to watch, and I didn't know it was a horror film.
So yeah, Alien Abduction McPherson tapes would have been the first one because it came out in 1989, and that would have been on. Because I watched it on Sky and stuff as a kid on the movie channel. So yeah, it would have been like
it did the rounds on it. That's when I first saw it.
Yeah, it would have been on like Sky Movies as a kid. Oh yeah, so
Andy's first was probably The Exorcist for Joby 1. Wow, what a first one. the old alien surprise.
We'll have to do a whole episode based on Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark because they're just a whole kettle of fish to unload on.
Oh yeah. Mutant starring Wings Hauser. Wow, okay, I don't know that one. It's an 80s one, so I'll have to look that up. Have you ever seen the 80s horror documentaries?
Yeah, the ones that are on Amazon.
Search of Darkness.
Yeah, In Search of Darkness. I've seen the first two. I've not seen the third one yet, which is the 80s one.
I backed the first two because all three of them are 80s. The second one has a lot of Italian horror in, and the third one is all about director VHS movies. I did back the first two on like the crowdfunding, and also the In Search of Tomorrow and The Last Action Hero, which is the sort of the first one they did. But the In Search of Tomorrow I haven't watched it, but the horror one, they're really good horror docs actually.
Oh yeah, I've seen the first two now. I'm sure because the third one I didn't know was out, and I saw it advertised on it was Elvira that shared it on YouTube that she was in it.
Oh, how about that? I love that. I was 5 when I was suggested The Horrors of Alien with the face hugger bursting out his chest, and then it was American Werewolf in London with the most horrific but awesome transformation scene, and Friday the 13th where you fall in love with Kevin Bacon and then watch as you get an arrow through the neck. Better than an arrow in the knee.
I'm not sure if you'll remember this, right? But when I remember when it was like some point late 90s, maybe even early 2000s, there was a thing on Channel 4 used to do these like list shows, like the top 100, like whatever.
Yes.
and Jimmy Carr did the top 100 horror movies or scariest moments or something it was called, something like that. I remember basically watching that and then making the list from 100 to 1 and basically trying to watch all those films that were on that list, and I almost succeeded. I own a lot of them.
It's funny those things. There you go. Look, this is what I love about like the modern age, right? So here we are doing a live stream. Andy's saying about this film called Mutant. I'm saying I haven't seen it before, and Andy sent me a link to the IMDb. So we're instantly. Two brothers discover the residents of a small southern town are being infected by a form of toxic waste, turning them into blood-ravenous zombies. Coming this summer.
Coming this summer.
5 out of 10 on the stars. Yeah, batteries not included. I thought I had Bob Hoskins in it, and then it's like, no, it's Bo Hopkins. I don't even know who that is. Okay. It looks like a bit of a B movie horror. Look, I could be up for that. I could give that a go.
Yeah, so they're all on that Shudder now. If you want to watch it, if anyone wants to watch them, In Search of Darkness 1 through 3 are all on Shudder, and it's only £2.49 a month now.
Really? Oh, okay. That's me signed up for it.
Dropped in price again. It's massively dropped in price. It was like £4 something, I think, a month. But either way, it were a steal for what you got on it. There's some right good old horror films on there.
Yeah, I think maybe they're doing it because it's like, it sounds stupid. It probably goes up in subscribers in October and then probably drops in the summer. So it probably makes sense to drop your prices in the summer to try and get just your horror fans, and then October will go back to normal price maybe. I'm
also 40. There was a hilly one the siblings issue. That's if you go the siblings, that'd be it. Yeah. Because I was the oldest, so I introduced my brother to all sorts of horrible films.
Middle child, but none of my siblings are into horror films.
Oh.
Neither of my parents are either, actually, to be fair. It's just little old me.
Yes, American Werewolf transformation scene is so uncomfortable to watch.
Do you know what? I think that calls for...
I can't get
we haven't used it enough this episode. Where is it? There it is. Hey.
We haven't used it enough. It's because it's hidden away in my little brand section to find it. There we go. Hey. I need to find one that actually does it with it makes the crowd clap and stuff. I need to find some more clips to have fun.
Yeah. It's early days, people. All right, give us a break. Yes, absolutely. I think that's the interesting thing about Friday the 13th as a franchise is that it's got one of the most iconic characters in its design. However, that character design isn't in it until like the fourth movie.
Third movie.
The hockey mask is it the third one he's in it? Because it's like the first one, obviously, it's not Jason.
It's Jason.
The second one, it's Baghead Jason.
Baghead Jason.
The third one's the hockey mask.
I think it's the hockey mask by the third. Yeah, because it's the 3D one, isn't it? It came out in 3D.
That's it. Yeah. In 3D.
But
if we could do this show in 3D one night, that'd be great.
Yeah, it'd have to be old school blue and red 3D for me.
I'm not a monster.
Sit there with the. The thing that Shelley's on about. Yeah, I love that scene with the at the very end. You think she survived the night. She's going to be the final girl of the movie, and then she drags her under.
Done.
Great. I always liked as a kid as well. I remember when I first saw is it Jason Goes to Hell, where you see Freddy's claw at the end dragging Jason under?
Yeah. I
remember getting so excited seeing that as a kid. I say kid, I was like late teenagers. Keep saying kids because I'm approaching 35. I'm getting scared.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Wait, when we say kid, we mean before 20. Yeah. Oh yeah. See that again? That is scary. Like it is when you're
a kid. Yeah.
You forget how savage that one actually is. As a film in general, there's a lot of really. That one's way more freaky than action adventure. There is definitely horror elements in Raiders with that sort of bit. But it's Temple of Doom, is the one that has definitely got more horror vibes. Applause. I feel completely. I have forgiven Rob for his movie. So, for anyone who doesn't know, by the way, I on our other show, The Geek Week, I got on a bit of a rant about Ezra Miller, and I dropped the C-bomb, and YouTube didn't like it, and the audience didn't like it, and I do apologise.
So, Ryan, as it's the first show, I want to hand it to you. What is the film that we're both going to agree to watch for the next show?
Oh. So we've done a reimagining this week, so I think we should do a classic for next week.
Yeah.
It's summer, so I'm thinking summer horror. Jaws.
Ooh. I've not seen that in a long
2.
time. Ooh. Jaws 2. Okie dokie. I'm up for that. That sounds good.
Because I got some stuff to say about Jaws 2, y'all.
So if everybody wants to join us in the chat, we're going to be watching Jaws 2, and we'll be chatting about it next time we're live, which will be in 2 weeks' time, so it'll be the 28th.
The Jaws films are my summer horrors, that's what I like to call them. Because I can watch that during the day with the windows open, it's sunny. I mean, I always think to watch that when it's summer. Oh no, I'm here. So yeah, Shirley missed it. So I am actually here because we're doing this every other week. So I'm here for the next episode in 2 weeks. And then Jake's covering for me because I'll be in Zakynthos. Maybe I'll try and just like buzz in and be like, "Whoa." And then we'll go. Then I'll be back on it every other week again.
Yeah. So yeah, the show's every other week, not every week. So it's going to be every 2 weeks from this week. So basically, with 14th, 28th, and so on, 5th and the 5th, the 19th. I'm just going to keep going. Yeah, every other week. We thought it'd be easier digestion. We know a lot of you guys that do tune into these live streams do tune into us every Sunday. So I didn't want to take up another night of your week every single week. So I thought 2 weeks is more. Plus, then we can digest more films and do more rankings and stuff like that. So it gives us time to physically watch the movies.
Yeah, that always helps.
Yeah. So Andy's excited for that. Jaws is his favorite franchise.
I'm looking forward to. Don't tell us now, Andy, but I look forward to your thoughts on Jaws 2 when we come up for the next episode.
Does Weekend at Bernie's 2 count as a summer horror?
Yes, absolutely, it does. Oh yeah, I think that counts. So shall we? Is it final go?
Final girls time. Yeah, if you can say me, final girls time. So,
who are our contenders?
Well, it can be anyone, basically. Anyone you want to bring to the table. We've got to both argue as points as to why we think that particular girl belongs in the top 5 and where she belongs.
Oh,
I've got a feeling that I know you're going to vow for Ellen and Ripley. I think Ripley's going to be yours.
Possibly.
I think you probably know who mine is probably going to be. So.
So we're going for top, or are we just doing it like how do we want to do it? Because
so we got 1 through 5. So 1 being the character that we think has been through the most amount of horror. The 5th being just the 5th in the list. So the one I want to throw in straight away, obviously, for a starting point. Let's go with Laurie Strode from Halloween.
So across the whole franchise as well, obviously.
Yeah, across the entire franchise. So obviously she's now an old woman in the franchise canon, and she's still fighting Michael Myers. And I think we've finally killed him at this point, but who knows?
He's actually made from liquid and will reform.
I wouldn't put it past them.
No,
all his bits ended up in the same morgue. And the season and the witch from Season of the Witch comes in. Happy Halloween. And Michael reforms. Halloween.
Stop it. Oh, where does Laurie go? Because
sorry, I'm just in my head now. I'm just thinking, what if it's his mask? What if the mask, just like in Halloween 3, is the thing that's like makes someone else turn into Michael? Oh, that could be
interesting. Very possible. I think they'll reboot it before they do another one with
Halloween, the Curse of Michael Myers.
The Mask of Michael Myers.
The Mask of Michael Myers. Yeah.
We're still giving them ideas. Where does she go on the ranking though? Because yeah, she has been through the mill.
She has.
Oh, she's pretty badass. She doesn't abandon the kids, which is pretty awesome.
I want to throw her at number 2.
Yeah, I think 2's good because also for franchise appearances and the amount of films there's been, that's a pretty impressive run. And she was one of the original Scream Queens. So yeah, okay, 2 works.
Yeah.
How do we count like a final girl? If it's only been 2 films, does that count?
You can still count. She's still a final girl as long as she survived the film.
Teresa
Technically.
Geldman from the Happy Death Day films,
Ooh.
because I kind of think it's a really good character in sort of 2 pretty solid films, but only been through 2 films worth of trauma. However, because the day repeats itself, does that count as more trauma because it's constantly reliving it?
That definitely counts.
3,
Yeah.
because she's still got a lot to prove.
She's only had a couple of films. She needs more.
Yeah. A few more films. Maybe we'll talk. No, we'll talk. Things that will survive a nuclear holocaust: cockroaches, Twinkies, my partner's scones, and Gail Weathers from Scream, as nothing will take her out.
Oh dear.
She's that's
Gail
do we
Weathers.
know that there's 2 final girls for the Scream franchise then?
What are we actually counting Sidney Prescott and Sidney Prescott?
No, because you got Gail Weathers is sort of a final girl if you think about it.
Yeah.
She is.
I thought you were getting.
target.
Sorry, I thought you were getting at Scary Movie. Then is where I thought you were
No,
going. I
that
thought
would
you were thinking Anna Faris versus Neve
God,
Campbell.
could you imagine that might be an end episode battle, wouldn't it?
But yeah, I see what you mean. Gail Weathers, yeah, she's definitely because she's in the latest film as well, which Sydney's not in. So she's technically been in more Scream films now.
And she's been stabbed, shot, plastic surgeried. She's had I don't know. But she's also very selfish, does a lot of things for her own gain, and has put herself in the danger more times than the others.
Mm.
So I'm going to say another 3 in the ranking scale.
Another 3, yeah, she'd go in 3. Definitely.
But since we're on Scream, Sidney Prescott.
2. I would say 2 for Sydney. Yeah, she's one of my favourites.
He has some really badass moments, and I do respect the actor actually for like not being in the last film for the reasons, like with the money stuff. So totally get that. And they haven't killed a character off, which is good. So there is still room for a return. They are going to do another one. But yeah, I think 2 works.
Yeah,
because done a lot of surviving, but also she's had the Ripley effect where she's sort of toughened up, and she ends up being the one that leads the group, or at least advises, even when she's not like the main target and stuff. So yeah, I'm happy with 2.
Yeah, cool. What about Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street?
Ooh.
She technically does get killed off, but then if it doesn't, it depends how you're counting it. Because obviously, then there's New Nightmare where it's Freddy's is actually chasing Heather Langenkamp as well as Nancy.
And that's pretty cool.
I think that's very meta and quite cool.
Oh, how many films does she survive then? Technically, as both the actress and the actor. That's.
Oh wow, this is gonna test. Hang on, keep yourselves busy. Okay. List of Nightmare on Elm Street characters, and this is what I love Wikipedia for. So,
Nancy,
the
little grid.
Langenkamp. So 1, 2. She's technically in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies.
Yeah, in that case, she might have to be a 2 then as well.
She's in 5 movies. She's in the original Nightmare. She's not in the second one, but she's mentioned. She's in the third film because she goes to the dream place to help them, doesn't she? The dream world, dream place. Then obviously you got Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I can't believe she's not in any of the others after that. That's crazy. She's in New Nightmare. Then Freddy versus Jason as a flashback scene, and then she's in the 2010 movie but playing a different character. So that doesn't even count technically because she's not playing Nancy. So
I think
1,
maybe a
2,
3 then.
3, 4. Yeah, she's only been in 4 then.
Maybe a 3.
Yeah.
We're agreed on a 3.
We agreed on a 3.
Another final girl. It's hard. I'm trying to think of. It sounds stupid because I'm trying to think like what counts as a final girl. Because if we look at Friday the 13th, she technically does survive to the end. And didn't they retcon the end in the second one?
Well, Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Yeah. She counts if you want to use her. She counts.
Probably a 4 though, because she's pretty useless. I don't know, because she does trick. Yeah, 4.
One that most people forget is Sally Hardasty, who played Marilyn Burns in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh,
So at the end of the film,
yeah.
she jumps on the back of the pickup truck and she's covered in blood and she's sort of like laughing maniacally at her as she's escaped.
That's pretty cool, actually.
She goes through the ringer in that.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
Probably a 4 though, because she's only in the one film. We don't see her again.
That's true. Okay, we'll stick to 4. So I am going to put my case forward now for Ellen Ripley. That woman. What a woman. Ellen Ripley. What a woman. Does loads of good things in the first one. She's the only one with common sense from the start. She doesn't want to let Kane even onto the ship. Oh, what up, Steve? She doesn't want to let Kane on the ship. Everyone else ignores her advice. All hell breaks loose. She tries to save the crew and organize them. She defeats the android. She saves the cat, which is, I think, it's just a nice thing to do. She tries to convince them all about in Aliens. She tries to convince them all, and they don't listen. And then she still goes back there to face her fears, despite the fact that it's controlling her life. She then loses her daughter. She then gets a daughter. She then loses her daughter again. Then she basically kills herself, only to be cloned and brought back to life to have to deal with the same stuff and some weird human child hybrid thing. That's just, and then when she does finally get back to Earth, it's absolute like nuclear dust ball. So it's not even a happy ending for the character at this rate. Still to this date, there's not a good ending for the character. Now, I would have loved to have known what Neil Blomkamp would have done with it, because obviously, I'm quite upset at the fact we didn't get that direct sequel to Aliens that he wanted to do, using sort of just discrediting 3 and just going with Michael Biehn and Sigourney Weaver again. I think she's number 1, because the other thing is, she doesn't run from the alien queen. She stands there and is like, "Get away from her, you bitch!" I'm quoting a film. No one get annoyed at me. I'm quoting a film.
Yeah, no, I see that. Yeah, I think she has been through the most amount of movies. I think compared to all the others as well. I think she's been in the most films, to be honest.
And like the star of all those films, not like a cameo and then killed off straight away.
She was the main character in all of them.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty solid list.
Yeah, the last one that I had, which a lot of people again forget, Kirsty Cotton playing Ashley Lawrence in Hellraiser, because she was in Hellraiser 1, Hellraiser 2, Hellraiser Hellseeker. She's in 3 movies.
Yes.
And she survives. And
she does sort of make the deal with the Cenobites. Oh, that's tough. Possibly a 2, because the Cenobites are meant to be like unreasonable. You can't reason with a Cenobite, and even if they have such sights to show you, possibly a 2.
Nice. Yeah. I think that.
So, George Dawes, what are the scores?
Oh, sorry, I wasn't even keeping a list. I was just discussing it. I'm so sorry. I didn't even keep a list. Sorry,
when we do a ranking, all right, one of us has to keep a list to review.
I didn't expect you to say it at the end. I was going to just nicely move on to something else, and you were like, "So, what are the?" I've not been keeping track.
Oh, okay. When we watch it back, one of us make a list, because we need to come back to this in the future at some point.
We do.
But that is a good point, Andy. That is a very good point.
Mm.
Three.
Yes,
what,
Joey, I'm terrible.
Guys, if anyone in the comments has any more final girls that we've not thought of off the top of our head, because what we've done is we've really carefully planned this, as you can tell. We've put so if anyone else has any final girls add to our list, feel free to chuck them in the comments and let us know.
So, one thing before we go, a trailer basically has dropped while we've been sat here, basically.
What?
Yeah, I know. How cool is this? This is a straight up exclusive here, people. So, there's a new film coming out called Cobweb. Have you heard about it?
No. Oh, quickly before then, Andy's put a curveball. Alice, Resident Evil.
Yeah. Alice from Resident Evil has been through a lot. Has she been through the most movies? Because how many Resident Evil films are there?
More than there should be, but again, it's a bit like Fast and the Furious. I can't help but enjoy them, even though they've got no
I've got no issue with them movies.
whatsoever.
I've got no issue with them films. Let's see how many films Alice has been in. Because I can go on Wikipedia again, and it'll tell me the characters. Resident Evil film characters. Alice. So Alice appears in Resident Evil, Apocalypse, Extinction, Afterlife, Retribution, and the Final Chapter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies she's in.
But she is also a really stupid character.
Yes, she is.
I think three because of one, the amount of films gets her a higher ranking, but as an awful character, it lowers the ranking.
Yeah, it does.
And it started with the click Shelley Sarah Connor. Now that is true because Terminator did start off as a horror franchise.
Did it?
Yeah, the first Terminator is a horror film.
I didn't know
like
that.
Alien and Aliens. You've got the first one is a horror film. The second one is where it moves to action. And if we're going to chuck Sarah Connor on a list, she's got to be a 2. She's badass. She takes care of herself. She teaches herself everything. She's good with weapons. She's a survivor. So I'm going to chuck Sarah Connor at number 2, personally.
Okie dokie.
Mary Beth from Hatchet or The Lass Out of Wreck-Angel, I haven't seen them, so I can't I can't comment on those ones, I'm afraid.
So let me look in the chat. What have I missed? Hatchet is Hatchet. I know of it, but I've not sat and watched them yet. That's on my list of films to watch. But basically, it's the guy that played Jason that was at that HorrorCon that I went to. I forgot his name off the top of my head. Kevin Hodder. He was he's Hatchet basically.
Do you know what? We should revisit this as well, like in I don't know, in 10 episodes time or something. Revisit it once we've watched more films as well.
Yeah.
And we'll write it down.
We will write it down next time.
Does the episode of Star Trek The Next Generation where Beverly Crusher is in love with a Scottish ghost count? Yes. Absolutely.
So, like I say, before we go, we do have this trailer that has just literally dropped. It's a Seth Rogen horror film. He's producing it and directing it. It's from Lionsgate, the people that brought you Devil's Rejects, Cabin Fever, and Hostel, and Saw. It's their first return to the horror franchise in a long time, and it is based on a Japanese movie called Cobweb as well. It was sorry, South Korean. I do apologize. A South Korean movie, so it should be pretty good. And I'm going to show you guys the trailer for the first time right now.
Then see it now.
Let's do this. Boom. Ooh.
Traveled through the wall into the bed.
Pumpkins. Halloween movie.
Always a good sign.
Okay, Homelander.
Are they hot air balloons?
I think so. Ooh.
Okay. There we go.
Oh,
Creepy
we
kid
go
drawing.
again.
Oh, that's the woman out of Cloverfield, isn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't really work the school bus thing when it's a UK horror film because we had really rubbish buses. Oh,
Oh. That ain't your mom, kid.
oh, okay.
This summer.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Stabby stab. Oh, okay. This has got potential. Oh, there's a kid. Is that a tiny door?
That was a tiny door. Ooh.
Okay, that actually has some potential.
That has legs. I'm interested.
It has 8 legs.
It has 8 legs.
Oh, thank you.
That looks good.
Oh,
I'm interested
yeah.
in that. Seth
I'll go see that.
Rogen, a weird producer for that.
But you say that. Look at Danny McBride.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know, that's a guy who's got some horror chops that sort of started making a name for himself, hasn't he?
Mm.
I'm curious about that. I think, yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic.
Me too. Well, guys, I think that's a perfect. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, Andy H. I don't know about Sarah Connor, as I still think Terminator is more sci-fi action than sci-fi horror. Do you know what? I respectfully disagree on the first one because it scared the out of me when I was a kid. But that's a good thing about opinions. We're all allowed them.
Yeah, I think that trailer is a perfect way to round out the show. How about that? We gave you an exclusive trailer as well. It's only just literally dropped within the past like hour.
You saw it here.
Finger is on the pulse with this podcast. Yeah. But guys, I want to thank you all for watching. This is the first inaugural version of our late night creature feature podcast. Me and Ryan will be back in 2 weeks' time on the 28th for more horror goodness, and we're going to be discussing Jaws 2 as Ryan's choice of film for us to watch for next time. And
dude,
what else do you
I've
want
got to ask: would Jake kill us if I made the tagline to this? Keep it creep.
Oh, no, we have to do that now. Now you've said it, we have to use it.
No, I'm sorry, Jake. What have I done?
Creep. Oh, I love it. That's perfect.
He's gonna kill me because he tells me off for trying to say it at the end of every show. Oh.
Andy H, it's been lovely having you, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in. Dave of the Dead, thank you, dude. And to everyone else as well, Joey B, Shelley, all of you guys, thank you for tuning in, making this show the first one a success for us. So thank you very much, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. And until next time,
Until then,
keep it creep.
He's gonna kill us.
We're so sorry, Jacob. Applause.
Applause.
See you guys.